Hello beta J chemistry. So today we will going to discuss that what are the factors that affect the crystal field stabilization energy. Okay. अब बहुत सिंपल चीज़ें हैं, बस थोड़ा थोड़ा आपको बस जितने रिलेशन में याद रखवाऊंगा इस वाले आज की वीडियो में, तो आपको याद रखने जितने भी हम रिलेशंस पढ़ेंगे दैट फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग द क्रिस्टल फील्ड स्टेबलाइजेशन एनर्जी. ओके, तो आप अच्छे तरीके से पहले तो आप ये हेडिंग डाल देंगे दैट द फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग क्रिस्टल फील्ड स्टेबलाइजेशन एनर्जी. उसके बाद जो पहला फैक्टर आपको वो समझना है दैट ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. ठीक है, द फर्स्ट फैक्टर दैट इज गोइंग टू अफेक्ट द क्रिस्टल फील्ड स्टेबलाइजेशन एनर्जी इज द ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. ठीक है, या फिर हम इसको बोलते हैं चार्ज ऑन सेंट्रल मेटल आटम. ठीक है, अब आपको एक चीज़ रिलेशन जो लिखवा रहा हूँ वो पहले लिख लीजिए आप लोग कि जो CFSE होती है दैट इज़ डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द चार्ज ऑन सेंट्रल मेटल एटम. ऐसा होता क्यों है? बहुत सिंपल चीज़ है, बात समझना. सपोज एक मेटल है, इस पे +1 चार्ज है, एक मेटल है जिस पे +3 चार्ज. ओके, यहाँ पे एक लिगेंड आ रहा है अपने इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनेट करने के लिए, यहाँ पे भी एक लिगेंड आ रहा है अपने इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनेट करने के लिए. आप मुझे बताइए कि इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनेशन की जो टेंडेंसी है वो मतलब कि लिगेंड कहाँ पे एकदम फास्टली अट्रैक्टेड होगा? ऑब्वियस सी बात है जहाँ पे +3 चार्ज है, बिकॉज मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ चार्ज क्या बेटा ज़्यादा है ना. तो देन दिस लिगेंड विल गोइंग टू एक्ट एज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड लिगेंड. इसका यहाँ पे क्या होगा बेटा? अप्रोच बहुत फास्ट होगा, और जो क्रिस्टल फील्ड में स्प्लिटिंग होगी, जो हमारे ऑर्बिटल की डी ऑर्बिटल की स्प्लिटिंग होगी, that will be the maximum in case of M+3 ion, not in the case of M+1 ion. Okay, so वहीं से हमने conclude किया that the crystal field stabilization energy is directly proportional to the charge on central metal atom. Okay, for example let us consider an example. Suppose you are having a complex FeH2O whole 6 and +2. ठीक, and now we are having a complex like FeH2O whole 6 times +3. और सपोज आपसे कोई पूछता है कि क्रिस्टल फील्ड स्टेबलाइजेशन एनर्जी का ऑर्डर बताइए आप, तो इट्स वेरी सिंपल दैट इन दिस कॉम्प्लेक्स आयरन इज इन +2 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट एंड अनदर कॉम्प्लेक्स द आयरन इज इन +3 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. Now, as we discussed earlier in this relation, that crystal field stabilization energy is directly proportional to the charge on the central metal atom. In this complex, the iron is present in +3 state, and in this complex, it is present in +2 state. So obviously, the second complex will have the more crystal field stabilization energy, yeah, crystal field splitting energy. Okay, so you just have to know that what are the charges on the central metal atom, and accordingly you can just compare the CFSE order or the CFSE energy order. Okay, for example, let us take another example. CONH3 whole 6 +2 and CONH3 whole 6 and +3. In this cobalt is present +2 and in this present +3. So obviously the +3 complex will have a more CFSE as compared to the first one. Now, as you can see that when we are comparing that CFSE with respect to the charge on central metal atom, at that time you have to observe that ligands which are used in the formation of a complex are same. In this example, all 6 are water ligand, and in this example all 6 are water ligand. In this all 6 are ammonia, in all 6 are ammonia. So you can compare only when the ligands are same and the oxidation state is different for a same central metal atom. Okay, now let us consider the second type of a case in which the nature of ligand is going to affect the crystal field stabilization energy. Now it is very much obvious that as the ligand strength will be increasing, its capacity or the ability to donate the electron pair to the empty orbital of the d orbital of metal will increase, and thus will result in the more CFSE. So we can directly write in this the topic that in nature of ligand we can just simply write that the crystal field stabilization energy, CFSE, is directly proportional to ligand strength. Okay, it is directly proportional to the ligand strength. Now you have to write one sentence here that in presence of strong field ligand CFSE is high, whereas in presence of weak field ligand the CFSE is low. Okay, and after that you have to write another sentence that kindly refer the strength order or ligand strength order. Like if you know the exact order of ligand field strength, then you can just compare the CFSE of a complex. Suppose in an example, in one example metal is present with a CO, that is a carbonyl ligand, and some X times, and in another example metal is present with a water ligand some X times. So you can observe that in this and in this case the ligands which are being used are, in the first example, in this first complex, they are using a carbonyl ligand, and in this complex they are using a water ligand. And as you all know that the carbonyl ligand is a more strong ligand as compared to water. And strong in what sense? Its capability to donate the electron in the empty orbital of a metal. So obviously the metal with a strong field ligand will have a more CFSE as compared to the metal with a weak field ligand. Okay, now the third point which you have to remember about the CFSE, that Z effective of central metal atom. Now what is Z effective? Z effective is a effective nuclear charge on central metal atom. You have to write like this way: Z effective of central metal atom. Now just let us consider an example. Suppose if you are moving top to bottom in a D block, and suppose if you consider 3D period elements, 4D period elements and 5D period elements. So you all know that the 3D period elements, 4D period elements and the 5D period elements, let us write the elements as well: scandium to zinc, yttrium to cadmium and lanthanum to mercury. So as we're moving from top to bottom in a D block, Z effective is increases, Z effective is increases, so CFSE is also increases. Now why the Z effective is increases? Because the nuclear is becoming more stronger and stronger as we are moving from top to bottom. Because number of electrons is increasing, so obviously number of protons will increase and will make the nucleus more strong. And as the nucleus is being more strong, the Z effective, that is the effective nuclear charge which is being experienced by an outermost electron in an atom, will be the more. So as suppose in example, suppose we are having a 3D, some metal of 3D series, and we are having a metal of 5D series, and the same kind of ligand is approaching to donate its electron to metal's empty orbital. In first case, the ligand is going to donate the metal which belongs to 3D series, and in second case, the ligand is going to donate the electron in metal of 5D period. Now you all know that the Z effective, the effective nuclear charge of the 5D metal is more as compared to the metal of 3D series. So the tendency to donate or to ability to donate the lone pair of ligand to a metal empty orbital will be the maximum in case of 5D, not in the case of 3D. So more we will the ability, the ligand will act as a stronger ligand, and we all know, we have discussed it earlier as well, that in case of 4D and 5D series element, the all kinds of ligand, irrespective of its nature, whether it is a strong field ligand, whether it is a weak field ligand, all will act as a strong field ligand only. So in this case, in this second case, the Z effective is more, so ligand will act as a strong field ligand. Thus, the metal with a 4D or 5D series element will have more CFSE as compared to 3D series element. Okay, and this all you know that for 4D and 5D series element, all ligands act as strong field ligand. Okay, and we all know that in case of PD and PT, you can write it down. For in case of PD and PT, there is a platinum and platinum. All ligands all ligands are strong filled ligand, and very much obvious. Okay, now I'm going to discuss a very important order for your exam point of view, that CFSE energy order. You have to write the crystal field stabilization energy order. Now just focus. We have seen how many types of splitting? Yes, we have seen three types of splitting. That is a crystal field splitting energy or crystal field stabilization energy in case of square planar complex, in case of octahedral complex, in case of tetrahedral complex. And you have to remember that the crystal field stabilization energy in case of square planar complex is maximum. After that, crystal field stabilization energy in case of octahedral complex, and after that, crystal field stabilization energy is compared in case of tetrahedral complex. So this is the most important order you will be remembering for your exam, that this is the sequence of the crystal field splitting stabilization energy in case of square planar, octahedral and tetrahedral. Now we all know that the geometry of complexes. Yes, now just make one table with me, and after that we are going to discuss very much important points. Just will use new slide. You have to write here the geometry of complex. And dear student, I want you people to read NCERT only once for coordination, just to cover all those topic and all those smaller things that is given in NCERT, mainly the factual data, mainly the practical application of coordination compound, mainly the real life uses of coordination compound, biological importance. Such thing please you cover from NCERT, and after completing the reading of NCERT once, and obviously completing notes, you will be able to solve each and every question of the coordination compound that will be going to come in your exam, whether it is JEE or NEET. Now suppose let us consider an example. We all know that the square planar is having more energy as compared to the octahedral as compared to tetrahedral. Now why the hell we are having this order? Just write one table with me. Here you will write complex. Here will write main orbital for repulsion. We'll discuss everything, main orbital for repulsion, and here we'll write the number of orbitals. Let us consider one by one all type of splitting which we have did earlier. First case is the square planar. And in case of square planar, the orbital which feel the maximum repulsion among all orbital is dx square dash y square. And if you remembering, the at topmost the orbital in the case of splitting of a square planar complexes is dx square y square only, because it feel more repulsion, that's why its energy is highest among all orbitals. And in case of square planar, how many orbitals are being used? 4 orbitals are being used. 4 are the total orbitals that are being used, and one out of 4 is feeling maximum repulsion. Okay, how we are writing this point? That in case of square planar we need a 4 orbitals, so total we are having 4 orbitals, and among these 4 orbitals, one orbital which is a dx square y square feels maximum repulsion, so we are writing in this way. And why I am writing in this way, you will come to know in just a few minutes only. And in case of octahedral complexes, The orbitals which feels more repulsion is Eg set of orbitals, which is nothing but dx square y square and dz square. And we all know that for formation of the octahedral complexes we needed 6 orbitals, out of which 2 are feeling more repulsion. Which two? This two, dx square y square and dz square. And in case of tetrahedral complex, we all know that dxy, dyz, dxz, that T2G set of orbitals, that is 3 out of 4 feel maximum repulsion. Now, why we are writing in this way? We are writing in this way just to make some relation, that what is the relationship between the crystal field stabilization energy of square planar and octahedral, what is the relation between octahedral and tetrahedral, what is the relation between square planar and tetrahedral, and vice versa, like a permutation combination. Okay, so the first which I'm going to write, see, so how we are going to make any relation among them? It is very simple. Suppose if you want to make a relation between the square planar and the octahedral complexes. So see, in square planar, one orbital feel maximum repulsion out of 4. So we will write 1 by 4 delta square planar. That will be equal to, suppose we want to make a relation between the square planar complexes and the octahedral complexes. And in case of octahedral complexes, the 2 orbitals out of 6 orbital feels maximum repulsion. So now as you all can see, we can just simplify in the 1 by 4 delta square planar, that will be equal to 1 by 3 delta O, and finally we can write it in the form of delta square planar will be the 4.4 by 3 times of delta O. So this is the relation between the crystal field stabilization energy of square planar complex and octahedral complex. And as you all can see that the square planar complex is 4 by 3 times that of octahedral complex. And we have written this only, that the square planar complex is having the most crystal field stabilization energy as compared to the crystal field stabilization energy in a octahedral complex. Okay. And suppose if you want to make a relation between the octahedral and tetrahedral, so see the 2 by 4, 2 by 6 of del O, 2 by 6 y, the 2 orbital out of 6 will more repulsion, so 2 by 6 of del O will be equal to 3 by 4 of del T, and after solving you will come to know that the delta is equal to 4 by 9 of delta O. So we have written like this only, that the 4 by 9 it means some 0 point something, so obviously the value of delta t will be lesser as compared to the value of delta O, and here we can see the delta O is much bigger than delta t. Okay, so likewise you can find out the many relation as you want. This is another one. Suppose you want to find the relation between the square planar complexes and the tetrahedral complexes. So we are going to write the 1 by 4 of del square planar will be equal to 3 by 4 of del t, and that will be something around del square is equal to 12 by 14 of del t. So by remembering this table, you can derive any of the relation between the crystal field stabilization energy of square planar complexes or octahedral complexes or tetrahedral complexes. Okay, now let us solve some questions on the basis of the crystal field stabilization energy, and we'll see that how the nature of ligand and the oxidation of central metal atom can affect the CFSE of a complex. Let us use a fresh PPT and we'll begin with our question. You have to give the correct order. You have to give the correct order of CFSE. Okay. Let us write an example. This is the question. You have to give the correct order of energy of CFSE, and such questions are being very much frequently asked in JEE. In NEET exam, they only ask about the oxidation state, the magnetic moment, and the IUPAC of complexes. Such simple questions only. We are having CrCl6 minus 3. We are having CrH2O plus 3. We are having CrNH3 whole 6. See, as we are going to complete this topic very soon, I want you all guys to solve the previous year 41 years questions of JEE and NEET respectively from the previous year book of the respective chapters. You have to give the order of the CFAC. Okay. You just try. After that, we will going to discuss. See, in all complexes, the chromine is present in the plus 3 state only. So we can't compare the order of a CFAC using what? Yes, oxidation state. So we are going to use the help, we are going to take the help of the ligand field strength, and in this case the cyanide is a ligand in this amine, in this water, in this chlorine, and we all know that this is the most strong ligand. So for the one, okay, let me write this both, 1 2 3. The 4 will have the most CFAC, after then 3, after then 2, after then 1, because after cyanide ammonia is strong, after that water, after that halides. Okay, so by this way you can just solve many questions. After this, from tomorrow I am going to start that how we are going to fill the electrons in a d orbitals in case of strong field ligand and in case of weak field ligand, because that this is very much important, because in exam they ask you about magnetic moment. For that you need to know the number of unpaired electron, but suppose the field ligand field is strong, so you might be not having that much unpaired electron as you expected. Thus it is very much important to know the how exactly is the configuration of the d orbitals in case of strong field and the weak field. Thank you so much, and if you are having any doubt you can contact me anytime. Thank you so much.